Writer Ronan Farrow claims that NBC tried to kill the Harvey Weinstein story when he was breaking it. Now, the Peacock network is under fire for its handling of Matt Lauer's multiple allegations. The allegations against him, I should say. Farrow details in his new book that the network negotiated multiple hush money settlements for years to protect the Today Show co-host. The investigative journalist speaking out for the very first time since releasing bombshell excerpts from his new book.
What we show in this book, with a paper trail, with documents, is that there were multiple secret settlements and non-disclosures being struck with women at NBC News. There were 7 non-disclosure agreements. Multiple ones of those were with Matt Lauer accusers. This is years before this incident with Brooke Neville's and the firing.
That's news. In this story here with me now, Elizabeth Wagmeister, senior correspondent at Variety, who first broke Lauer's accusation story. You've been on this all along, Elizabeth. Great to have you with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
I guess, first of all, you know, let's put up the Andy Lack statement, because I want to get your reaction to this. They are pushing back against this. The first moment we learned of it was the night of November 27, 2017, and he was fired in 24 hours. Any suggestion that we knew prior to that evening or tried to cover up any aspect of Lauer's conduct is absolutely false and offensive. So obviously what Ronan Farrow just said in that statement are very much at odds, Elizabeth.
Very much at odds. And, you know, it feels like deja vu, because when I broke this story along with Ramin Satuda, my colleague at Variety, back in 2017, this is what we were hearing, and this is, of course, what we were asked. In our original reporting, which was the story with the first allegations from women against Matt Lauer, our story came out the day that he was fired. We had written in that story that we heard from numerous women, numerous sources, that complaints were made at NBC and they fell on deaf ears. That obviously happened before the night that he was fired.
So the women that you spoke to for your story, they had tried to pursue this within the company and they got nowhere?
We were told from these women that they had spoken about it to superiors, to colleagues. That was in our original reporting from 2 years ago.
Okay. The other really interesting account here is from Rich McHugh, who worked with Ronan Farrow at NBC when they were trying to produce these stories on Harvey Weinstein and then the Matt Lauer story, which follows. Here's what Rich McHugh said in Vanity Fair. What I faced from my bosses at NBC, though, felt worse than being spied on by Weinstein's paid thugs. The network had protected itself and Matt Lauer with precisely the same legal tactics that Weinstein had used for years to cover up his own sexual misconduct.
That's quite a statement, because we know that Ronan Farrow has been saying that he was followed by people that Weinstein covered or that he hired, and that he almost moved out of his house, that he was told by sources to buy a gun. So for Rick McHugh to say that what he faced from NBC was worse than that is quite a statement. So as you said, he did write a piece for Vanity Fair. He went into great detail of what he and Ronan alleged. They, you know, NBC, of course, is saying the story was not ready to be reported. They say that not only was it ready to be reported, but that legal at NBC had cleared it. They said that they were ready to have women go on the record. They were ready to do an interview with Rose McGowan. They say that they have the goods.
Their side is pretty persuasive in terms of the sources that they had and what they had locked down. Why was NBC, remind everybody, why would NBC care if the Harvey Weinstein story came to light? Why would they be against that?
So again, what NBC is saying, because I do have to present both sides, of course, as a journalist, they are saying the story was not ready to be reported. That's why they did not want the Weinstein story to go forward. Now, what Ronan Farrow and his producer, Rich McHugh, are saying is that, remember, Weinstein, of course, was the mogul of Hollywood, and that he did not want NBC to uncover anything bad about him. So NBC allegedly struck a deal of sorts with him not to report on him at all. Now, Noah Oppenheim, who is the president of NBC, he's also a screenwriter. He wrote the movie Jackie that starred Natalie Portman, so he has Hollywood ties. So Ronan Farrow, this is what he claims. He is alleging that NBC did not want to upset Harvey Weinstein. Now, he even goes further to say it's all full circle and intertwined with Matt Lauer, because Ronan Farrow is essentially suggesting, and he said this morning on Good Morning America, he says he carefully lays this out in the book, but all signs point to it was kind of a tangled web that was all woven together, that Harvey Weinstein basically threatened that he would spill the beans about Matt Lauer if they spilled the beans about his sexual harassment.
Ugly all around. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Good to see you tonight.
Thank you for having me.